Thank you again. Hopefully everyone has arrived and I will only have to do this once, but I am Rogera Toussaint Michelle, in case you missed it. I am the owner and founder of MTM Executives, and I am also the director of MTM Institute, which is now officially the host of this event. MTM Executive sponsors it, but that is just until we have enough patrons to make sure the event can stay free forever. So, for those of you who have never been to a live event, we were live with delicious food every single month, absolutely free as well. Now that we are online, we just ask that everyone orders from a local restaurant or buys a gift certificate. Thank you, Chris, to help support local so we can still pay things forward. That's if you can, no pressure if you can't. We know these are crazy times. Um, but without any further ado, because I've already put our Facebook, LinkedIn links in there and our Patreon link, I would like to introduce our amazing co-host, who I'll just mention again is an amazing connector, guys. Please, please, please take the time to speak with him, Chris Shea.
Thanks, Gerald.
My
I
pleasure.
was hiding my face because I was stuffing my face with that sub. And there's a wonderful thing that I've just experienced recently is that we used to have meetings where there'd be food and everyone would be able to eat and all that stuff. But there's something a little weird about watching someone eat right up close in the box. So I hope that everyone excuses me for not stuffing my face while in the box. Um, I'm a financial advisor, and I'm grateful that Regia asked me to help out. I've been going to her events for a year and a half now, and they're great, wonderful, meet a lot of nice people, and I'll put all my stuff up there for everybody to meet. Um, just like to let everybody know that networking is networking and not selling. So just get here, reach out to people, see how you can help each other, and pay it forward, and hopefully everyone has a good time tonight. So without any more, I'll give it back to Rogera.
Thank you so much. So I will jump in and pre-introduce Kim Pearlstein. I'm a firm believer that people introduce themselves, but Kim has already proven to be, I've only known her for a short time, but she's already proven to be an amazing connector as well. But tonight she's speaking to us about LinkedIn, about building relationships, retentions, and referrals. And I will now kick it to you, Kim.
All right, thank you so much, Rogera. What I'd like to do is, I could talk about LinkedIn all day, so I will probably be speaking pretty fast. But again, if you have any questions, I'm just going to give a very broad overview, a quick PowerPoint, and then jump into LinkedIn to show you a couple things, because I think that kind of makes it real, and you can see there's some of the things you can do. So first, let's see if we can do this right. I'm going to share my screen. Well, that's my LinkedIn screen. Let's see. Can you see my PowerPoint? Okay, great. So I am going to just quickly go through a couple things. So on LinkedIn and any other social platform, the goal are to build relationships, let's see how that goes, increase your visibility and reach, drive traffic to your website. And the results you get from doing all that are to gain exposure to potential customers, grow your network, brand, and business, and get more referrals. So building the relationships, increasing your retention, and getting more referrals to grow your business. So LinkedIn is the best social network for lead generation, and I love LinkedIn. It's better than Facebook and Twitter for B2B. This is just a brief, how LinkedIn works is based on the power of connections in your relationship. So I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but when you have first degree connections, those are the people that are directly connected to you on LinkedIn. So Chris and Rogera, we're both connected. But if Rogera is connected to Liz, Liz would be my second degree connection. And Dave is also a second degree, and Steve would be my third degree connection. So LinkedIn works by connections, and when someone searches for what you do on LinkedIn, the results vary based on who you're connected to. So the object is to really grow your network of connections on LinkedIn. LinkedIn currently has over 760 million users. 171 million are in the US. It's a 24/7 networking tool in over 200 countries. I'm going to skip past the other things. So I'm going to focus quickly on the 3 ways to build better relationships, increase retention, and referrals on LinkedIn. And these are the 3 things I want to talk about. Giving people a reason to learn more about and connect with you. That's basically the profile optimization piece, which is where you really have to start in order to start building those relationships. You want people to know about you and what you do so that when they need your services or they know someone that needs your services, they know where to find you and they know more about you. And the more people you connect with, again, the more likely you're going to be found in a search. So when someone searches for what you do on LinkedIn, you know, they're only going to find you if you have the right words in the right places and all the stuff filled out, all the sections filled out. So the next step is to identify the top 10 people you can help in the next 3 months. And the best way to do that is to just look at your connections. You can actually download a list of your connections from LinkedIn. And if you want, I can show you that in a bit. And just, you know, again, we talked about helping each other, referring each other. And that's really, really important. You want to get people to know, like, and trust you and do business with each other. And the third is to take consistent action. Whatever your consistent action is, that's up to you. For an example, you can dedicate 15 minutes a day to LinkedIn, or you can say 2 to 3 times a week, I'm going to spend a half an hour on LinkedIn. Whatever it is, whatever fits into your schedule, be consistent with it. Purposely engage with your LinkedIn connections. So those are the top 3 reasons to be on LinkedIn and build better relationships that way. So this is what my profile looks like. So I'm going to jump into LinkedIn now so that, I like to call this the personal identification box, or I may have seen that from somebody else. It's the 10-second bumper sticker. So what's on here is what people see right away. And whatever they see, they may decide they want to look more or they may not. And it's a little different when you're looking on your phone versus the computer. So personally, I like to use my computer, but I know a lot of people do look at LinkedIn and other apps on their phone. So now I want to jump into LinkedIn. Hopefully I can just jump to that screen from here. Okay, can you guys see my LinkedIn profile now? Okay, sometimes I'm not sure how the Zoom works with the sharing of the screen. Okay, so what I wanted to go over is, let's see, I wanted to use that annotation thing on here. We played around with it, Rogera, so I'm going to see if it works. All right. I'm going to use this spotlight tool. There we go. So this top part here is called the headline. Now, when you first get on LinkedIn, it puts the default it puts the whatever job you have as your current position, it puts that here. You can change it. LinkedIn recently increased this section. It used to be 120 character limit, but now you have 200 characters, 220 characters, I think it is. So what you want to put here is your keywords, what you want to be found for, and keywords play a huge role. Google likes LinkedIn. So if you have the keywords in the right places and someone searches for your name on Google, if you have an optimized LinkedIn profile, they're going to find that probably on the first page. And if your website isn't optimized enough, your LinkedIn profile, if it is, may show up before your website. Crazy enough. So you want to make sure you focus on the keywords and put them in the relevant places. Now, the top places are the headline, the experience section when you list your jobs and the titles of your jobs, the about section, which used to be called the summary. So when you're on a mobile device, you only see the first like 280 some odd characters. So you want to make your first couple sentences count. And also here you only see the first couple sentences unless you click see more. So you want to make sure that you're drawing people in your about/summary section. The other area to put your keywords in is in your skills. When you're typing your skills on LinkedIn, you know, you start to get a drop-down box of skills, but even if you don't see the skill that you want to type, you can actually type it and add it. So make sure you focus on those areas. And actually, let me take a step back. The first thing, you have to make sure you have a profile picture. I once heard that not having a profile picture on your website is like going to a networking event with a paper bag over your head. Now, in the Zoom world, it would be like not showing your picture on the Zoom screen and expecting people to want to talk to you, right? So that should really be the first thing. A great profile picture is actually more than you think. It reflects your brand, and it's great if you have a photographer that can do it, but if you can't do that, at the very least, have someone take a picture of you with a blank background don't, have yourself cut off with someone standing next to you. So you want to make it look professional. If you're a yoga instructor or something, it's okay to have yourself, in your yoga clothes, make it reflect your brand. So let's see, going over here to the about, I just wanted to focus to tell you that, don't talk about how many years of experience you have. Don't start with, I have 20 years of experience in marketing. That's really boring. You want to ask a question. You want to, it's not boring for you, but your goal is, I'm looking at Rogier, your goal is to actually tell your customer or someone that's looking at your profile how you can help them. How do you help them solve a problem? So you want to be compelling. You want to tell a story. You want to maybe talk about how you got into your field, because you want to draw people in to want to read more about you. So I start with a question. I also recommend you put a combination of bullets. You see, I have some bullets on here, some little funny check marks, and there's space in between to make it easy to read. You have 2,000 characters in your about section. So you don't have to take up every single section, but every single part of that. But you do want to have enough information there for people to, if they want to reach you, that they have enough information to want to take the conversation offline is really the ultimate goal. And don't forget to put some sort of call to action, because the only people that can see your email in your LinkedIn are your first degree connections. So if someone's trying to look for you and they see what you do and they say, oh, I would really love to connect with you, if for some reason they just want to reach out without connecting, I'm not sure why they would want to do that, but if they do, you want to have your email or your phone number somewhere on your profile in the about section so that they can reach you. I have contact us, with my email address to schedule a complimentary consultation. And I actually have this also, email me with any questions here. So you can, if you like these like funny, like, the different like check marks that I have on here and different symbols, you can actually just copy them from my profile, believe it or not, and add them to your own. I think I first saw that on someone else's profile and I was like, that is really cool. How did they do that? And I just was able to take my mouse, kind of copy and paste into my own profile. So these are the most important areas of the LinkedIn profile. And if you have, when you complete your profile with all the sections, you're 40% more likely to be found in a search. So really making sure that all of the areas are filled out, your experience with your current and past jobs, your education, any licenses or certifications you have, if you have any volunteer experience, that just speaks to your character. It shows that you're community oriented. So that's always nice to put there if you have it. And your skills. People, can endorse you for skills, and you can also get recommendations if your industry allows it. I know, Chris, you're in financial, so you probably cannot get recommendations on LinkedIn, but if you're, looking for someone on LinkedIn and you see two profiles that are almost identical, but one person has a bunch of recommendations and someone doesn't, who are you going to call first, right? Who are you going to reach out to first? So if you can have recommendations on your profile, it does speak to your credibility and it helps. And if you have any publications or you're in any organizations, you can also add that here. This area is actually, the interest is actually groups. It's groups, companies, influencers, and schools. So it's very interesting. This used to be separate on LinkedIn and now it's all combined into one section. So I don't know how much time I have. I know I speak fast and I don't want to go over, but I'm still good. Okay, so let's see what else I got on my little list to tell you about. So I don't want to forget to say, please connect with me on LinkedIn. And if, I would love to have a conversation with everybody. And secondly, I have a free report on my website, and I will put that in the chat later. And it is the 5 updates to improve your LinkedIn profile in under 30 minutes. So it talks about how to, the 5 areas of your profile that are important. You can customize your URL. That's one of the things in my free report. So if you do not have a custom URL, meaning if someone goes to look at my profile, like I'm just going to here go to Rogier's profile. And I go to look at her contact information here. She has customized her URL, because when you sign up for LinkedIn, LinkedIn assigns and puts your first name dash your last name and then a bunch of numbers after this. So you want to make it easy to remember for yourself and for others, and you can customize this. So my free report actually walks through the steps on how to do that. So that's one of the first ways I can tell if someone is active on LinkedIn and using it effectively or not. If they don't have an updated URL, I know right away that they're not really using LinkedIn. I also do recommend you put your phone number here. You know, it's optional, but if you really want people that are connected to you to be able to call you, then this is a good place to put it. Let's see what else. Here, you know, I recommend that you do make your connections visible to others. I was on a call with someone the other day and I went to look at something. I just wanted to see who he was. No, actually I wanted to see how many connections he had. I was curious because once you hit the 500 plus connections here, it doesn't tell you how many, but you can look. Right now I have some things I guess I clicked, but so Roger, you have 816 connections. I can tell by looking here. So it's kind of interesting to see that, you know, even if you have 501, it's going to say 500 and plus, 500 plus. So one of the goals should be to, you know, try to get to that 500 mark, because when you see that someone has a lot of connections, I don't know about you, but it makes me think like, oh, I want to connect with that person. You know, it would be great to have a conversation with people and then see how we can all support each other. So when you see that they have a lot of connections, they might know some people that could be beneficial to you. So let's see what else. So go back here. So anyway, he said that, you know, I couldn't click the number on his profile. And I said, why do you have your connections hidden from everybody? Like part of the reason to be on LinkedIn is to build relationships and be able to refer business and support each other. And so he went to the setting that allows you to hide your connections, and he undid it. And then I was able to see. I mean, I think some people don't want you to poach their connections there, but if someone's really doing that, you yourself can actually disconnect from someone that's trying to do that. People that are trying to reach out and claim that they know you or use you, you know, I mean, my feeling is if you want to be introduced to someone, ask me first, and then I'll be happy to make an introduction on LinkedIn. Chris, I know you do that all the time. You're great about that. You want to connect two people together. If they're both on LinkedIn, you can start a little group conversation and say, you know, I think you guys would be great connections for each other. You know, here, connect with each other. So let's see.
Can you show people how to do that? Because a lot
Sure.
of people don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, so I can probably do it by showing you one of yours, Chris. Let's see. Well, what you would do is you would go to here in the messaging. So first you would click on your network. I'm sorry, you would click on your message. This is how, okay, clicking on your network shows you how many connections you have over here on the left. So that's kind of interesting to see, you know, if you're not sure and you want to just, you can look at all your connections. And you can actually sort them by who was recently added, or you can sort by last name or first name. So that's that section. Okay, but if you want to go to introduce someone, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can message and create over here where it says messaging. You would click the pencil and then you would type the name. So if I want to introduce Chris and Ruggiero, which we already obviously know each other, and Chris did that the first time he introduced us, I would put both of their names in the conversation and see, here's the conversation of us talking about it, right? And then you would just type your message. I think you would be a great connection for each other, you know, don't forget to connect, whatever. And then they can connect outside of that and start their own little chat if they want to. So it's very easy to do. Let's take that out. So the one thing I forgot, okay, so that's, you know, mostly focusing on your profile, your connections. The taking the time to take consistent action on LinkedIn, I would say the first thing to do is go here to your notifications, and, you know, you can see who's viewed your profile. If you have the premium account, you can see everyone who's viewed your profile. If you don't, you have, I think, the last 3 or 5, I always forget, people within a 30-day period, I believe. And, you know, go here and see, you can see everybody's people react to posts and comment on posts. It's just a good idea to look here. People have their birthdays, so sometimes I'll say happy birthday to somebody, you know, so that's the first place to go. And then you can, you know, visit other people's profiles in your news feed, which is here at the home screen. You know, you can scroll through here and see what people are posting that are in your network. there are, usually the first one is someone in your network, and then the next one is a sponsored, promoted something that they paid for. So you might have to scroll down a bit, but sometimes in your notifications, you'll see someone will posted something, and then you can go click on that and maybe go and comment on it, like it. Likes are great, but comments are better. So engaging with the people that you're connected with helps increase your visibility. And then posting on LinkedIn, either sharing an information that you created, an article that you wrote, or if you're like me and I don't like to write, then I'll share articles other people have written. And that's okay too. You don't have to be a writer. You can curate content, things that your target market would be interested in, and you can post about those things and engage with other people so that you're building those relationships by liking and commenting on their posts, and then also posting your own things. So where
Kim,
are we at?
I noticed, I know on the like, there's a bunch of different things that are in there. What are the differences? And how
Oh,
does that
on the
impact
like here?
anything? Does that impact anything?
All right, so this is the like, it shows you what it is. This is like, this is celebrate, this is supporting, this is love, this is insightful, and this is curious. Most of the time I do the like, I do the first three, if I'm going to do something.
And
Kim,
just,
when you're
I
ready.
don't know if you know, Kim, but when you do more than just the like,
Mhm.
it promotes that more so than anything than just the like. Like
Oh,
just putting a
okay.
like on something will promote something in the algorithm at LinkedIn a little bit. But if you
Okay.
go to curious, love, insightful, or whatever, it promotes it higher up in the algorithm.
Oh,
So
we'll see. I didn't know that. Good. I learned something new today also. I'm always like, I love it because I'm always learning too. And there's always something new to learn, especially when it comes to social media and people, they're always making changes. So thanks, Chris, for that bit of advice. I didn't know that.
So
You
if you
can also
actually want to have somebody's stuff promoted, you do more than the like, you do the love or the celebrate. So when I see people's like anniversaries or new jobs or whatever, I always use celebrate because that promotes it more.
Oh, that's great. I actually just started like actually saying happy birthday to someone. Like I'll type a message. I will put their first name in. Oh, going back to connection requests. When you go to connect with someone, always personalize the connection request. So I saw on mine that Nancy, I think you sent me a connection request as we were doing this. Let's see where that is. So here, right. So you wrote, hi, Kim, I'm in Rogier's networking group. Thanks. So when I see something like that, I'm more likely to just click accept, but don't just click accept and forget about it. Click accept and then go to Nancy's profile, or sometimes I actually go, Nancy and I, we met through another networking group. So I know who you are. So thank you for sending me that LinkedIn request. But sometimes I actually go to the person's profile first and look at it before I click accept. But in this case, I knew Nancy, so it was fine. But then see, it's showing me that it's just she's a second degree, which isn't right because I just accepted her request and it's first degree over here. So I would refresh my screen on here on the left because it drives me crazy that it does that. And then I don't just leave it at accepting the connection request and being done. I say, Nancy, thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn.
Kim, I just want to make sure you see the couple questions that we have in the Q&A.
Oh, I did not. So
No worries.
I'll just, quickly, I always personalize the connection request. And then when you accept it, don't just accept and finish, accept and send another message back. My husband makes fun of me because I have so many outstanding invitations in here. And it's because I don't just accept and forget about it. I have to go through each one and see, do I want to accept that person? And if I do, I want to have the time to message them. So I did not see the question. So let me stop the share of my screen so that I can see that.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, I don't see the questions, so.
Just read them to you. So the first one is, should you engage with people that are not connected with or who are in, who you are not connected with or who are in your third level?
Yes, you can absolutely do that. And that's an individual decision. People sometimes ask, and this is a similar question, like, should I connect with people I don't know? Well, do you want business from people you don't know? I mean, you have to look at each individual person that's requesting a connection, or if you find someone in your network, outside of your network that you want to connect with, there's certainly no reason not to connect with them unless you feel that maybe it's a fake profile or something. But what I recommend in those cases, like if you're doing a search on LinkedIn, because you can use LinkedIn, for lead generation. So if I'm doing a search on LinkedIn for a specific type of person, for example, if I was looking for an accountant or something, I could I could show you how that works. Actually, that might be valuable too, right? To show you a little bit of lead generation stuff. So if I'm searching for an accountant and I type accountant in the top here. I hope this answers your question. I would click people. And then it's going to show me like my second and third degree connections, like people that, I don't know yet. So again, a second degree is someone that's connected to someone that I'm connected with. And so say I decide, okay, I'm going to look at this person because she has more than just one mutual connection. So I would go look at her profile, kind of peruse it real quickly, see if it's someone I want to connect with, and then click connect and personalize the message. You can always disconnect from the person if you do decide to connect with someone you don't know and they start spamming you or something. So there's really no harm in connecting with people you don't know. The goal is to connect with as many people as is relevant for you, and to expand your network so that people can find you on LinkedIn. I actually use LinkedIn like a Rolodex sometimes, because if I know I met an accountant at an event like 3 months ago or last year, and I remember the person's name was Robert, but I can't think of his first name or whatever, I actually would look for accountant in here and narrow down my search, because LinkedIn is one of the first places I connect with people. So like if I knew that I was looking for an accountant and I didn't remember the person's name, I could actually click here, connections, and click first degree, because most likely I'm connected to the person if I met them, at an event. And I would click apply, and then only the people I'm directly connected with on LinkedIn who have accountants somewhere in their profile will show up. So now I can go, oh, wait, okay, that's 94 people who have accountant that I'm first degree connection with it. And I can scroll through and go, oh yeah, oh, the person was, Stephanie. I couldn't remember her last name. And then I can, refer her to somebody, or if someone I needed, I could find her this way. So that's another way to use LinkedIn. I hope that answered your question.
Please
What was the other
let us
question?
know if it didn't. The next question though is LinkedIn useful with B2C networking?
Yeah, yes, it is. It's a little different, but it's still valuable. Do you want to give me some more information on how I can help you? So I can help you a little better? In some cases for B2C, you might use LinkedIn instead of using it to find leads. You might find referral partners. Like if you are a real estate agent, you don't know who's going to be buying a house. So you might use it to connect with mortgage brokers and real estate attorneys and things like that. If you have a few additional questions, feel free to ask them in the chat or the question.
Yep, let us know if that does not answer the question. And then David mentioned that he gets a lot of requests to connect from financial advisors quite frequently. So I'm just wondering if maybe we're thinking a lot of people are doing that falsely, or if they're just maybe, because I know from networking groups, there are a lot of financial advisors in general.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, maybe they're using it because you would be a good referral source for them. You're the accountant, right? So, as an accountant, you might help them with a little bit of planning, but they're probably doing that because I would imagine, right, Chris, an accountant is probably a good referral partner for you, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why. And you can pick and choose, if the person isn't any way connected to anyone in your network, maybe you just don't accept. They don't see if you say, decline or whatever, or ignore. I forget what the, I forget what it says, if it's decline or ignore. The person
Ignore.
that's requesting you to connect with them, if you decline, they don't see that you declined them. So it's okay to do that.
And David's follow-up statement is that they then try to be his friend and want him to join their team, which I know is a big thing with certain financial advisors anyway. I know a lot of them are building up teams of their own. Any thoughts? And actually, Chris, I'll open that up to you too as well, since that's like your area of expertise.
Right. I mean, again, that's, your decision. I would suggest taking the conversation offline, having a conversation with him saying, would love to learn more about your business. Let's have a one-on-one and, try to cap it at, half hour talking to new people. Learn about their business, see if it's a fit. Maybe you do want to join a couple teams or, partner with someone. But the only way you're really going to know is if you talk to them. And now with the age of Zoom, I mean, it's much easier, and you do feel like you're actually meeting the person, even though it's on the computer. I feel it's great to have Zoom because it really makes me feel like I know the person better. So you don't even have to drive anywhere, and you can meet people from all over and expand your network. So I would say take the conversation offline first and see if it's a fit. How
Yeah, I
about
would
you
say
guys?
that every financial advisor is going to contact you. They're going to have a different story that they want to tell. And as Kim mentioned, you've got to ask the question of what their intentions are. Some of them, this guy included, it's business referrals and helping each other in the future. Some people, it's building their team up. And some people, they want you to actually be their client, and you don't know until you ask them. And that's one of the great things about LinkedIn is that you can reach a lot of people really quickly, but you can also reach a lot of people really quickly, and some of them may not be ones that respond, but you never know until you ask and try and figure out what's going on. Like, I mean, Kim and I don't remember how we met, but we met at some networking event. We had a half-hour conversation. Next thing I know, I'm introducing her to Jira, and next thing I know, she's presenting on this thing. You never know until you actually have a conversation. I got one today from another financial advisor asking me to join their practice. So gonna say no because it's not what I want, but it's nice to sometimes feel wanted, even if they are just sometimes playing the numbers game.
Yeah, there's a saying that that I heard a long time ago, and it is the only thing you know for sure is that you never know. And I kind of liked that because you just don't know what something is going to lead to. So even though you may not have, you may decide, okay, that person is or isn't a good connection for me, but the only way you're going to know is to talk to them. And if they're not a good connection for you, that's okay too, because they may know someone who needs something that maybe you specialize in. So I don't like to close any doors. I like to keep it all open. It's building the connection, building the relationship. And the only way you're going to know is if it's beneficial is if you have a conversation with them first, and then you can make a decision from there. So, and even if that, person isn't a fit for you, they could be a fit for someone else, even. So you might be able to help that person in a way they hadn't even thought of. So, it's really building relationships is so important. It's building that know, like, and trust so that you can help other people and get more business for yourself. So.
All righty, we have a couple more questions, but I just wanted to mention, Chris, in case you didn't see the Q&A, Emily also said thank you for the connections. But our next question is Joy Jacobs. Thank you, Joy, for your question. It's how do you expand your relationship with a new connection once the connection has been made?
Oh, sure. So the first thing I would do is what I did with Nancy is when you accept someone's connection request, or if they're accepting yours, you send them a message back. And what I usually do is say, let's have a conversation to see how we can support each other. It's as simple as that. Are you open to scheduling a one-on-one so that we can learn more about each other? You can mention what you do a little bit. Obviously, they've connected with you or you've connected with them for a reason. And it's okay to mention a little bit about what you do, but don't put like 12 paragraphs of your business and then say, let's talk. Just start with, are you open to having a conversation? I would love to learn more about what you do. tell you more about what I do and see how we can support each other, help, and if we can help each other. So there's a lot of different ways to word it. Just open up the conversation and try to move it offline to a phone call. That would be my next step after you connect with someone. Hope that answers the question.
And I think this is the last one, but if anyone else has questions, please do put them in the chat or in the Q&A. We have a few more minutes for questions before we start the open networking section. But what is currently the last question is, how do you handle people who say they will connect with you or schedule a coffee or meeting and then no show or don't follow up?
Well, if they don't show up, I would probably give them another chance if it was someone that I really wanted to talk to. If it was someone that I wasn't sure about, I would probably let it go, because then maybe they aren't the right person. That did happen to me. I scheduled a call with someone that I met in a networking group, and he didn't show up, and he never followed up, and he never tried to reschedule. And I was like, you know what? That just shows me I probably don't want to talk to that person. But if it's someone that I wanted to talk to, or they seemed interested in talking to me, I would just follow up again. I mean, what do they say? It takes 7 to 10 touches to turn a client, a prospect into a client. And people respond in different ways, and people aren't always active on LinkedIn. So you might be active on LinkedIn, but they may not be. You can tell if someone's actually been on LinkedIn or is active on LinkedIn because there's like a little green dot by their name. Did you notice that? Did you guys know that? So I could share my screen again real quick. I'll show you. Just like on Facebook, there's a green dot, and next to someone's name when they're actually on Facebook. I don't know if you knew that either, but on LinkedIn, it's the same. When I'm on, if I look for Rogera again.
Yeah, I'm going on now.
Yeah. So right now there's nothing by her picture, but if she's active, there's like a green dot that's like right here where I'm swinging my thing. Chris, are you on LinkedIn now? All right, so I'm going to go to yours. You see how there's a green dot with a circle in it? Now there's a green dot that's filled in all the way. So when it's filled in all the way, it means that he's currently on here. When it's not filled in all the way, it means he was on at some point today, most likely. So I think on your phone, you can actually see like how long ago the person was actually on. It'll say like 25 minutes ago or something like that. I don't know that you can see that on your computer. I may have been able to see it if I hovered there, but right now you're active, so it's totally filled in. But on Facebook, it's the same. You can see when people are active on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a little creepy. You can actually turn that capability off, but if you have it off, then you can't see other people that are active. That's a lot of things on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn too, there's like a privacy setting where if you don't want people to see that you've looked at their profile, you can turn that privacy setting off, and it'll show like anonymous, or it'll just show your title and your location. But if you turn that setting off on LinkedIn, then you can't see who's viewed your profile. It's not fair if you let, they make it, reciprocal, which is fair.
And we did get another question from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I'll read as her, but I am new to the Charleston area. I want to build meaningful connections here, but I also want to build connections with people who live in other areas who are moving to CHS. What is the best way to do this? How transparent about my intentions should I be?
Well, you can't tell if someone's going to be moving to your area unless you're posting and asking a question. So I'm not really sure, I would just connect with people who have, do you want to give me a little more information? Like, I understand you want to connect with people in the local area, and you can search for people by location. So I would maybe do that. I don't know, how do you figure out if people are moving?
Well, I would, as a realtor, you're a realtor, so I would put in your description, I recently moved to Charleston and I enjoy helping others do that as well.
You
right?
can do that.
Like you market yourself in that way. And then you'll probably come up with better verbiage than I did off the top of my head.
Right. Yeah. Because you want to be you want to be careful. You don't want to put words in there that aren't really keywords, because it's like
Right.
a kind of a waste of space. So like, yeah, you would probably say, maybe you want to say like relocated to wherever you, South Carolina, I think you said, right? Relocated, or relocation specialists. You can all, maybe figure out a way to word it in your headline that makes people attracted. If they see that, they'll be like, oh yeah, I wanted to move there.
And-
Real estate agent specializing in relocation, and then, put the state there.
She did clarify. She said she means connecting with realtors for referrals.
Oh.
I
Well,
just
yeah,
look
you
for
could
them and
certainly,
just connect with them.
yeah, you could certainly just connect with them, and you can be honest, like you said, be upfront. Recently, I'm a new realtor in the area, and I want to connect with other realtors in the area, see how we can help each other. If someone's not willing to do that because they're afraid of the competition or something, then maybe they're not the right person. I think there's, I don't know what office, if you're looking to connect with people in other offices. I'm in New Jersey. I know the real estate market right now is really hot, right, for you guys. But there is a lot of competition. So I don't know if realtors are open to connecting with other realtors or not. But you could certainly ask and be honest. Yeah. I mean, I sometimes just say, like, I'm expanding my network on LinkedIn and would love to connect with you. Are you open to connecting here? So you don't even have to make it like, sound forceful. You can just kind of say, like, I just moved to the area. I'm looking to expand or build my connections. Can we connect on LinkedIn? That's another suggestion. Hope that helps.
Thank you, everyone, for the questions. We are going to move
Here,
to.
one more question.
Oh, go right ahead. Sorry.
Have you ever heard of Link Helper? And if you have, would you recommend it?
Linked Helper? Not LinkedIn, ProFinder. Linked Helper, I have not heard of that.
Okay.
What is
Somebody introduced it to me this past week, and it's something that automates work on LinkedIn for navigating and recruiting type of things. So I
I
didn't
would
know.
be very careful of things like that because LinkedIn does not like the automation tools. And so there is a possibility if they find out and it's not somehow sanctioned by them, which it probably isn't, you could get shut down. Your account could get shut down. So I would be very careful about any automation tools on LinkedIn. I used to use one a long time ago, and I know one of the people that worked for that company that created it got kicked out of LinkedIn because they're not really supposed to be using tools like that. I mean, there is a tool I think called Duck's Soup, which is like an app that like connects to LinkedIn and helps you do some searches. I think I haven't used it. I just do everything manually. It takes longer, but it's also more authentic, and you can personalize each message, and you can tell, right, when you get an automated message from somebody. And who wants, it's very unappealing. Can I just say I just want to say one more thing, if it's okay.
Yes.
So I like to ask the question at the end of my presentation. Will you take action on LinkedIn to improve your profile? When your prospects are searching on LinkedIn for what you do, will they find you or the competition?
Very nice. Thank you so much, Kim. It was amazing presentation.
Thank you again for having me. And thanks, Chris, for the introduction to Roger.
Right. And thank you, in turn, for the introduction to Gregory and the others to come. So, tons, I've learned things. I hope everyone else has. I just want to remind everyone quickly to join us every month on the fourth Wednesday, except for December when it's the third for the holidays.